Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I am going to discuss about the research paper which has a title called An Overview of Big Data Concepts, Methods and Analytics. There are 6 authors and they have discussed about challenges, issues and opportunities that is related to the big data. So this basically comes under the subject called Big Data Analytics. Now let's see introduction of the big data. Let's see what exactly the big data is. The data sets too large and complex to handle with the traditional software. If we take any type of the data, if that data is very large and huge amount of data, and if it doesn't fit to any of the machines, so we call it as big data, where the data will be very big. So the huge data is known as big data. Importance of the big data. It enables the data driven decision making and innovation across the industries. This big data helps in decision making activities. Now let's see characteristics of big data. Now let's see what the authors have been defined about the characteristics of the big data. Basically, the big data characteristics can be written through V cube, that is volume, variety and velocity. The volume itself says that it's the size of the data, how much amount of the data is that is. So it's enormous amount of data generated from source like IoT, social media. So the volume is nothing but the how much amount of the data. To calculate how much amount of the data, we use volume. And variety. Data can be from different sources, data can be from different sources, so data can also be of different formats. That is, it can be in structured or unstructured or semi-structured or multi-structured, so on. So the data is different format, that is structured, unstructured, etc. So data can be of different forms like graphs, charts. So data can be variety of the forms. So the variety describes about the different forms of the data. So velocity itself says that the speed of the data. So how much amount of the how much speed of the data we are going to get. So speed in which new data is created and processed, often in a real time. So the big data characteristics is volume, variety and velocity. Volume is nothing but speed, variety is nothing but different forms of the data, and velocity is nothing but speed of the data. Let's see in how many methods the big data is being handled. The first one is data mining. Suppose we have a large data sets. So to understand these large data sets, it is not simple to understand this. So we go through many methods to understand and simplify these large data sets. The first one is data mining, extracting the patterns from the large data sets. We go through the large data sets. Through the data mining, we extract the important patterns. So it will be easier to understand the large data sets. And machine learning. In this machine learning, we go through algorithms to learn from the data to make the predictions or decisions. In machine learning, there are many types of algorithms. So we use algorithms to learn from the data and to make the predictions from the large data sets, or to come to the conclusion. We use these machine learning algorithms. And statistical analysis, it is nothing but it applies the statistical models to understand the data trends and relationships. In a large data sets, it is difficult to understand the relationship between the data. So we use a statistical analysis models to understand the relationship between the data. And then the predictive modeling, it uses the historical data to forecast the future. Already collected data, that is historical data, we analyze it to simplify the existing large data sets. So these are the methods where we can easily analyze the large data sets, and we can easily come to the decisions from the large data sets. Now let's see different types of big data analytics. The descriptive analytics, diagnostics analytics, and predictive analytics, and prescriptive analytics. So these are the 4 types of big data analytics. Let's see what the authors have been described about this different types of analytics. The first one is descriptive analytics, summarizes the historical data to understand what happened. We take a large amount of the data and we summarize it, what has been happened from this data. So this summarization, we call it as descriptive analytics. Suppose we take a large amount of data, we analyze it carefully in a descriptive form to understand what has been happened through this data. So this is nothing but descriptive analytics. So next comes diagnostics analytics. After analyzing what has been happened through the data, next we examine data to determine why something has been happened. After going through the large amount of data, then we analyze that why what has been happening through the data. After that, the next step is we analyze why it has been happened. So this is known as diagnostic analytics. Next comes predictive analytics. The name itself says that predicting the future. We have taken a large amount of data set. We analyze what has been happened and then we examine why it has been happened through the diagnostic analytics. And then after these two steps, after this descriptive and diagnostic analytics, we predict the future from this data, that is forecast the future outcomes based on the historical data. Through this collected data, what will be the output? So analyzing this future is the predictive analytics, is nothing but predictive analytics. And then prescriptive analytics, it suggests the actions to achieve desired outcomes based on the data insights. First, after analyzing this large data sets, that is big data, we this prescriptive analytics type suggests the actions, that is if there is any corrections in the large data sets, or if there is any mistakes, so it suggests the person how to make it correct, so that the person or the business holders can reach the desired outcomes based on the data insights. So it suggests the actions to the person. So these are the four types of big data analytics. Now let's see what are all the challenges that are faced in the big data. Data privacy and security. While managing the big data, we have to concentrate on the data privacy and the security because it is very important. Ensuring the sensitive data is protected from the breaches. That is, we have to ensure that the sensitive data, which are personal, which has the personal information, has to be uh, protected from the threats. And next comes data quality and integrations. Combining the data from the multiple sources while maintaining the quality. While managing the big data, we combine the multiple sources. So while combining these multiple sources, we have to maintain the quality. So we have to ensure that the data will not be lost, and we have to maintain the quality of the data. And scalability, now ability to handle increasing amounts of data efficiently. Scalability is nothing but while we are dealing with the big data, that is large amount of the data, we have to handle the amount of the data efficiently, that sometimes the data might lose, so we have to handle it carefully. Real-time processing. Processing and analyzing the data in a real time, in a timely decision. So we have to handle the data in a real time while analyzing the big data. Now let's see what are all the issues that are faced in the big data. Data governance, establishing rules for data use, security, and ownership. Everyone cannot access the data. Suppose if someone is the ownership of the particular data, so another person cannot access it directly. So we have certain set of rules and certain set of the credentials to access those data. Data ownership, defining who owns data, especially when it's shared across the platforms. When this particular data is shared across the platforms, everyone cannot access it. So we have to define who owns the data, like who is the ownership of the particular data. Ethical use of the data, ensuring data is used responsibly and does not harm individuals. Once the data is shared across, so the data has to be used in a good way, and it has to not harm the individuals. So so we have to ensure these issues and the legal and compliance issues. Navigating regulations like GDPR to ensure the compliance. So we have to ensure that the GDPR is regulated. The legal and the compliance issues can be solved. So these are the issues that has been caused in a big data. That is data governance, data ownership, ethical use of the data, and legal and compliance issues. Opportunities in the big data. So what are all the opportunities that are available in the big data? Business process optimization, streamlining operations by leveraging data insights. So in a business process, the big data opportunities are very high. Like we can operate by leveraging the data insights, collecting the data and extracting the data insights. So this helps in business process. Now, personalized marketing, using a customer data to tailor the marketing campaigns. Once we have developed the product and we have given it to the market, so we have to take the customer feedback to improve the product. So it can help the customers more easily. And then predictive maintenance, using the data to predict the equipment failures and reduce the downtime. Suppose we are developing one product, so we have to use the data to analyze whether the product runs very smoothly, or if there is any problems that occurs in the future. So we have to analyze the data to see all these issues in the future that occurs in the future. Healthcare and the medicines. So this big data is also helpful in healthcare and the medicines, that is in a medical field also. Applying data analytics to improve the diagnosis, treatment, and the patient care. We apply the data analytics, that is analyzing the data method is applied in a medical field to improve the diagnosis, that is diagnosing the patient and treatment of the patient, and it also increases the patient care. So these are the opportunities in various fields of the big data. So these are all the important points that have been discussed in this research paper. We have discussed about what is big data and different types of big data, characteristics, issues, and challenges and opportunities of the big data. So these are all the important points that has been discussed in this research paper. Thank you for watching my video.